Hi and welcome, I'm John and this is Unique Wargaming Terrain. Guys, welcome back. Everyone that's new, this is the Monday painting video. What are these Monday painting videos? Well, basically from last week's Weekly Wednesday, I show you some models and you guys vote on what model or models you want me to paint. So like Hero, HQ, or Unit, Squad, whatever. Or monster, whatever's there to vote on. For all my regulars here, guys, I feel love. Thank you very much. I'll see you in a second, guys. Right, so last week there was only one vote cast, which is for the Aggressors. Now, I don't know if people just forgot to vote or if they would just look to what was there and I'm not in the mood to see any of these this week. I don't know, but these are ones that I voted on, so these ones I'm going to sort out today. Now, I had a little bit of a problem with these guys because I have a new black spray, but the spray can itself is like this. Yeah, that's how it comes. And when I spray it, it doesn't spray out normally like a normal spray can. It comes out like an airbrush. It just sort of sprays a bigger area. So I gave these guys an undercoat with it, and when it was dry, what had happened is the raised areas had a touch of black on them. You can see his foot here. It looks sort of dark, but not that dark. And I was like, oh, hold on a minute, that's a bit... Well, what I wanted to do was try and give the Space Marines a Zenithal Gracia on one side. So when I add the Screaming Skull, it's not going from a dark base to a creamy light base. It's going from a greyish base to a lighter base. So I was hoping to get away with maybe one or two coats instead of three coats and a touch up here and there. But what's happened is, can you see that on the shoulder? No, that's not the Gracia. That's the other paint. It hasn't melted the plastic on anything. It's just actually weird on it. So hopefully, when I whack the paint on this, it will sort itself out. This is the worst one. That. So I don't know what the hell's that's done. So I might have to make a trip to GW. I'm due to go there anyway, but I might have to add black spray onto my list and just actually spend out the extra couple of quid to get the normal black spray and just use the normal black spray from GW just for models and not for anything else. So as always, I have to whack my wet palette. Zoom in, focusing. It's probably not focusing because they're grey. Anyway, so as always, whack the wet palette. I know what colours I'm going to do these guys, but for the minute I need to start with my chapter colours, which is Corn Red and Screaming Skull, and I need to sort those out before I start setting a whole wet palette. Well, I set the wet palette up with those, but I need to get those under control first, and then because I've Gracie'd it, anything that's going to be metallic silver I have to paint black first and then start coming with the silver. But you're not going to see me paint every single one. You'll see me paint one model and I'll paint the other two off camera and then just bring you the whole lot together. So guys, I'll start with the base colours, which is the red and the cream, and I'll come back to you after that. So all I've done is lock in the black so far. With the black, everything that's going to be metallic or gold or something like that, that's what I paint black. But that's after one coat of the Screaming Skull. Not too bad. The gauntlet and the shoulder pad. The reason I started doing the black is I started doing the shoulder pad and I went, I know I need to do black first, because if I don't and then I'm trying to do the black, the trim on the shoulder pad, and I accidentally hit into the Screaming Skull, I've got to go back over the Screaming Skull, and So I might as well just do the black first of all, and then that one doesn't look too bad. You see just on the back of the head and shoulder pads, that's that black spray. I don't know why it's done that. I've never had a problem with Gracie before, so it has to be that black spray. That's the worst one. It looks absolutely shockingly, I don't know. I'm going to have to probably turn this into a rescue mission more than anything else. But I'm going to start whacking the Screamer's skull on just after one coat, yeah? It's not too bad. So I'm going to do the Screamer's skull on the rest of half of this model. And then go back to do the corn red. And then come back to the Screamer's skull and just touch up. And then I'll join you then. There's not much more to do on, there's not much more detail on these models after that, to be honest, because it's all big plates. It's not like, I mean, there's the Aquila in the middle of the chest and stuff like that, but there's nothing spectacular on these models, which is bizarre because they're nice, big, chunky, lovely looking models. But anyway, I'm going to crack on with that. Right, so there we are. They're not finished. There's still quite a few bits to do on them. To be honest with you, I'm not actually happy at the moment with the way they look. There, you can see on the camera, they looks fantastic. Yeah. When I bring it up, I'm not overly happy with the look of it. And I think that's two reasons why. The first one is because the spray paint put me in a bad humour with it in the first place. Painting them, there's lots of big chunky bits, you know, just flat panels and stuff like that. And don't get me wrong, sometimes you can look at one and go, oh yeah, that's going to be easy to paint. As soon as you start painting, you go, actually it's more detailed than I first thought. Or you can go, or look at one and go, think the opposite and go, oh, that's going to be difficult. As soon as you start working away on it, it's absolutely fantastic. The ruined terrain, plastic terrain from the Imperial magazine that I painted up recently comes to mind. I looked at that and the panels and everything else, and as you started working away on it, it was so easy. But I think with these guys, I'm looking at the moment, this guy needs a bit more of some corn red on him. The other guys have only had one coat of corn red. Okay, they've all only had one coat of the Screaming Skull. Yeah, so it is actually looking pretty nice. I think he needs a little touch up here and there, the Screaming Skull. This guy needs a bit on his shoulder pad. This one needs a bit more on his wrist. But I think the next move, or the best thing to do next, will be to start adding the silvers and lead belcher, and retributor armor into the models. Now what I'll do is I'll set up on a white palette and maybe do one of them, a few bits on one of them with those colours, and then go off camera and just do the whole rest of them. And then when I go off camera, I give him a little touch up on his shoulder and give this guy a little touch up on the red. In terms of the Screaming Skull, with the Gracia underneath it, it's actually a big time saver, because there's one coat on each. He needs a little touch up there. There might be a few other little bits and pieces here and there that need a little touch up. I've just seen his corner of his backpack there needs a little touch up. But normally I'd put, 3 thin coats on, and then maybe have to go for a fourth, with a few bits here and there. So it is actually a big time saver, which could be fantastic when I'm trying to get through these massive space marines, so there's more marines for the games. But anyway, I'm going to sort out the wet palette and I'll come back to you in a second. Right, so I've got some lead belcher base on the brush, and I'm going to come in and start doing all the bits that I want to be silver. Actually helps if I do it on camera. So all the bits that I undercoated black are either going to be silver, or they're going to be retributor armor. So do this nice little bit here. Apart part on the shoulder pauldrons. The edge is going to probably be, I don't know if I'm going to leave it black or if I'm going to add a colour to it. So I need to really break up this red and all of that. Now I'm just going to do one little bit here, do a little bit of gold, and then I'll move on to the rest off camera. There's no point showing you the same thing on 4 guys. There's a couple of little bits on here on his chest, if it actually zooms into me. Still not 100% happy with the look of these guys so far. To the inside of those tendrils, or magazine tubes, shall I say. Some Richie Butte gold. Don't get me wrong, I still need to do this side, but for the minute I'm just showing you what I'm going to be doing. This is going to be his little quilla on his chest. Hopefully this will really break the model up. Some people are going to say to me, you usually use the other undercoat, black spray undercoat, you know, the £2 one. Why have you not used that? Simple answer is the shop that I get them from only has gloss at the moment. The gloss is actually terrible for, I did test spray it on a test model and it was terrible, so I said no, I'm never going to do that on them. What I'm going to do now is do the silver on this arm and the tendrils and all that business, and then go back to Richie Butte armour, Richie Butte armour, and do the rest and the silver on the other 2 as well. I'll come back to you when I'm at that stage, guys. Right, so I'm going to say now these are battle ready. Okay, now I'm going to take to the next level. They're not quite finished yet. It's just on the piping. You can see there's a little bit down I need to get to as well, but just the piping and the purity seals, which is one on his gun arm, yeah. But they could be better already, apart from those 2 things. But I'm going to take to the next level now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take some White Scars White, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and I'm going to remove these 2 guys out of the way. It doesn't focus in on, focus on. Let's see if I can get this right. There we are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with some White Scars White, and I'm going to start dry brushing, well not dry brushing, start dabbing the top of the head. Start bringing it around the edge of the head. Yeah, and then just start working my way across. Okay, and I'm going to come, because there's a bit too much paint on the brush, so I'm going to come to the knuckles, and I'm going to get the knuckles to the other hand. Now don't panic, because White Scars White is a layer paint, so it will dull itself down. Now you can't really see the difference there, but you will in a minute. Now that hand the fingertips of it are still black from the black spray, actually from the black spray, which is bizarre. So I'm going to leave them that colour, and we'll do the same on this one, so it breaks up the hand even more. Now I'm going to dry brush the face with using the little bit of paint that's up there and a little bit of paint that's on the brush. Now the face isn't going to stand out too well straight away, but I'm going to leave that to dry for a minute. I'm going to get some Lothern blue, because you regulars here will know that all my purity seals, the seal itself is Lothern blue. The reason for that, somebody did ask me, is because if I do it red, sometimes the purity seal will be on the red side and it sort of blends in, doesn't look right. So if I do it Lothern blue, it stands out and it breaks the mod up a little bit more. And there's some Lothern blue. I'm going to get a purple for the wiring here to break up even more. But I'm going to have to go over this again with the black. The shoulder pauldron, just with the edging of it. I'm not 100% happy with what I've got here, but I'm not 100% happy or confident of going around without making a mess. But let's see. So I'm going to get Lothern blue. I'm going to get the purple colour for the wire, and I'm going to go around the black, the shoulder pad. Excuse me, shoulder pad pauldron with the abdon black. I'll come back to you then, guys. Right, so I actually went with Niagara for night, just on the pipe working. You know, I'm going to wash it down with some nun oil afterwards, but I've got some Talisar blue. Now the Sergeant model has a little gem in the middle there, so I'm going to just work some contrast paint on that. So as that dries, it's going to have an amazing look. I've done the Lothern blue, so now I have to wait for the purple to dry, and then I can get some nun oil on there, and then we can go to edge highlighting and layering up. Right, so what I've got now is some White Scars white. I'm not going to go back over the face again just yet. I will do, but for a minute I'm going to edge highlight all of the sorry, let me do it on camera. I've got these two chaps in the way again. I'm carried away with myself. Edge highlight all the raised, like sharp points like that. How does that look? Better. And someone will say, oh John, you know, you're so close, it doesn't matter how it looks because it's right up close, it's 2mm away from the camera. Now with this hood, if it focuses in, I'm having problems with this camera focusing recently. I'm just going to dry brush up into that section. If I do it on camera, it would help to catch that raised area, and then just give the face a quick once over with the last bit of paint on there. Now I'm going to go as well on this leg. If it actually decides it's going to focus for me. There's a few more bits I'm going to do on that, but I'm going to do that off camera because it's hard trying to do that and do it on camera. See you soon, guys. Right, I switched to a shade brush. I'm going to get some nun oil, and I'm basically going to do all the metallic parts. Let's give them a quick once down with some nun oil. Just going to do this one on camera, because giving that shade down takes, like, you know, a minute or so, nothing too long. Give the gold a little tap up with the nun oil as well. Gold across the chest, a little touch up. The gold on his hair hanging off his belt. Look at that leg. Look at those tendrils, or weapon chains, shall we say. I'm going to give the other two a nano. Already I can see that on the gun. Let's bring that up so you can see that. Look at that gun. I can already see it really making it work its magic. Every time I look at the model, I don't see nothing. But when I bring out camera, I can see on his backpack there's a few little white speckles that I saw. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to do the other two with nano. I'll come back to you then. Right now I've got some moot green. I've got the tiny brush. And I'm going to try and line up with the eyes. Now it doesn't matter if I slightly overshoot the eyes, because I want to give it like a glow effect like that. Okay, I'm taking it straight from the pot and rubbing a little bit of it off onto a bit of tissue and just trying to get into the eyes. Okay, now usually I would do the technique of finger to the end of the brush, use the finger to pivot, and then just turn. Yeah, but I'm actually very confident today for some reason, so I'm just going to go freehand. This eye needs a little touch more. Now what you could do to do this effect on the eyes as well, say like you were painting your aggressors with white helmets as well, okay, because they are a specialist unit, you could put some moot green onto your wet palette, water it down, and sort of wash the face around. So wash the face around the eyes with the moot green. Leave that to dry, then keep dry brushing it with white scars. That will just bring it all up. This one's got a little bit of skill with. It still looks good. There's only one thing left to do, which is layer up the red. So those of you who don't know, I use Wesdecker Red to layer up. Wesdecker Red is a layer paint, but I'm going to put it on the palette, wet palette, and like for example this guy, when I come to do his shoulder pad, I won't do the whole thing, I'll just do the middle bit. Yeah, the gauntlet, I'll just do bits of it here and there, leave the edges, the outside edges dark corn red. So I'm going to get some of that on the wet palette, and then I'll start working away and come back to you then. Finally, they're done. Now, I know it's a bit all over the place with this on this video, that black spray, when I sprayed the models, that threw me off totally. And I've had to try to improvise along the way. I did give it a grey sear afterwards, and then I had to improvise along the way. The white scars, white highlight on the Screaming Skull, that was an off the cuff, just what I decided to do today. But it looks good, I think, here and there. I think I would experiment with that again on something that's just undercoated black, like Space Marine. I mean, I was thinking about, because the Screaming Skull went on very well, I'm thinking about grey searing the Space Marines in future, just one side, just so to give me that nice light base coat. I'll probably do one or two like that and see how they go. And if I can't get on with it too well, then I'll just go back to doing it the old-fashioned way, which is still works, but it's just a long way we're doing it. So guys, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, found it helpful in any way, please like, share, subscribe, turn on your notifications, and I'll see you next time. Take it easy, guys. I'll show you some pretty pictures now anyway, but take it easy, guys.